The DRP, Disaster Recovery Plan, is a policy that defines how an organization will recover from a disaster, whether it is a natural or man-made disaster. The DRP should protect both people and assets of a given organization. It includes a list of responsible people who will perform the steps for recovery, inventory for the hardware and software, and steps to recover from a disaster. Now, with this said, let's check out a few points on DRP.
DRP first should ensure the security of the people at all cost. Then it plans for business continuity. A backup site can be used in case of disaster, and in this case, resources like IT systems and office supplies should be considered. Now, a full recovery plan may be very expensive. And while most of the organizations cannot afford such a plan, other solutions may be considered that are affordable and can provide continuity of operations. When planning for DRP services, it should be ranked in order to decide which service to be considered first. Business Continuity Plan, or BCP, decides which services are sensitive for the regular operations to continue.
Now, Laura, as you know, DRP ranks a given disaster and acts on it based on its rank. There are many scenarios for each rank, so we're going to try and depict those scenarios as closely as possible. Short term is when a line of service is fully affected. This is a high priority and requires immediate action to recover. An alternate site is a possible solution or a shared site. The ultimate solution is a mirrored site, but this solution is often very expensive. Midterm is part of the business that is affected. So let's say phone lines. The business should still be able to receive customers' needs and requests through online services.
And with long term, some services can affect the daily routine of employees, but not the production. For example, a smoking area or cafeteria, this is to be considered as low damage or long-term recovery. On another hand, if a disaster took place and the company migrated to an alternate site, the revert to the original site will be processed in the long-term policy as the original site may be severely damaged and it will take time to recover it.
That's right. And a hot site is an identical site of the primary one, equipped with systems and services just like the primary. Data is duplicated to the hot site. A hot site is tested by disconnecting it from the primary site and observing the switchover process. Usually the switch should be very fast. Warm site is a location that performs non-critical functions for the organization but can be converted to a primary location within a few days. Warm sites can include key systems and databases, but not all the systems. And a cold site is a location owned by the organization, but it contains nothing. In case of a disaster, the organization will start to equip the cold site to perform the base operations. And now this process is probably going to take weeks or months.
Yeah. And data backup solution is a must for any organization. When planning for DRP, this is to be considered a priority. There are 4 standards in DRP to back up data. With tape backups, you can use incremental or differential backup. Know that tapes should be secured in an off-site location. Mirror backups consist of another location holding the same data, each writing to the primary disks and then replicating with a high-speed connection to the mirror site.
Now let's talk a little bit about journaling. This is a less expensive solution that preserves the data as journaling captures only transactions. So in case of a disaster, the full backup tape is used and the journaling is used to write the transactions, again, that were not included in the full backup. Electronic vaulting is an alternate location to preserved backup data. When the backup is complete, it's copied over to a different location. When a disaster occurs, the electronic vault is used and the backup is ready to be restored.
And now the recovery process is tied to the recovery team where they implement procedures and steps to recover from a disaster. The recovery procedure should be well organized with specific steps to restore normal operations. And the recovery team should always make sure to meet the recovery time objective or RTO without exceeding the maximum tolerable downtime or MTD.
That's right.